Hello grade 12, we're going to do dynamic components, grade 11 as well. Right, so we did this in grade 11, just going to recap it again, so for grade 11s also. So this is a little program that I've created to help with all the different concepts you have to know. The first one here, the one we're talking about now, is dynamic objects. Here's a button, and we're going to click on the button. In this button click event, we're going to create an image using bird.bmp. Now that's in the folder of this program. I haven't got the folder there. Anyway, there's a bird.bmp file in the folder of this program, and we must make the left property of an image. We're going to create an image, okay, dynamic image. Now you must remember that when you create components, basically they are these components on the right hand side of your screen, the palette. You can search and you'll find T-image, but we're not doing it that way. We're going to actually make a virtual image. So in runtime this image will be created, but before we can actually use this image we must declare it in a variable section. I can do it here in private. So I'm going to call this img bird of the type T image. Okay, so T image, you know that all our components have types. Button is T button, label 14 is T label, SED quantity is T spin edit. You know all about those. So what you're doing is basically you're creating a variable using a variable name, a name that you make up, and you say, okay, it's going to be of this type T image. So that's the first thing you have to do. So I'm making this a global variable. Right, so in the button click now I'm going to create it. In this button click event we're going to actually create it. So we say img bird, just like we did in OOP, assignment statement, T image dot create. Sorry, my computer seems to be a bit slow. Don't do this to me now, please. Dot create, and in brackets we've got to put in the name of our form. This form is called form 1, FRM1. So we're creating it for this form, right? Then we're going to use this image and we're going to set properties. The first one we have to set is the parent. In other words, where's this thing, this image component, where do we want it to be situated? Well, we want this to be on this tab sheet here called tab sheet 6. So I'm going to say parent equals form 1 dot tab sheet 6. Okay, now of course I can carry on and say img bird assignment, the dot left property and the dot top property and so on, but instead of having to type img bird all the time we can just say with img bird do begin and end, and then we just say left equals, I could have put parent in there as well, left equals, and it has to be 650, top equals 5, and height is 90, and width is 120, and the stretch property equals true. That's what they're saying in the button click. Now the actual image itself, this is how we do it. We say img bird dot picture dot load from file, open brackets, and there we put in the name of the file, bird dot bmp in inverted commas, like that. And there it is. Then I run the program and see if it's working. Click this image and there it is. Now we're going to do the next button. Create a panel with the following: left top height, caption, no caption, and the font size must be 20. So in this button click, when they click on the button, we must have a panel. Now before we can use the panel, we must create a variable here, PNL out colon T panel, whatever I want to call the panel. I'll just call it PNL out. I don't know why, but that's what I did. So then we have to say PNL out colon equals T panel dot create open brackets form 1. And then we're going to list all the properties. So I'm going to say with PNL out do begin and end. We have a number, we have the left, we have the top, we have the width and the height, and the height. Yeah, I know I haven't given any of these things values yet. 60, 100, 300, 300. 60, 100, 300, 300. Okay, next thing that we have to worry about is the caption, no caption. So we say caption equals an empty string, and then the size of the font, so we say font dot size equals 20. And there it is. Oh, we didn't do the parent, did we? No, we forgot to do parent. Parent, in other words, where is this panel going to be situated? I'm going to say form 1 dot tab sheet 6. Done. Right, next thing. Here's this a little if statement involved here. If the show edit box is checked, then an edit must be displayed on the panel with the left top property. And if it's not checked, so we're going to be checking to see, in this button click, we're going to check to see if that checkbox called CBX is checked. So, if statement, if CBX dot checked equals true, you don't have to say equals true, you can leave this part out if you want. Then begin and end. Else, if I look at the else part, if it's not checked, we're just going to remove the panel. So we say PNL out dot free. This is how you remove a component. Use the dot free. Right, now for this edit box, we want to create an edit box, so we have to go and get a variable for our edit. So I'm going to put it under the others, edt input colon t edit. Okay, I'm calling it, or I can call it edt type. I'm calling it no, let's not call it edt enter. Just in case I've got edt input somewhere else, you know, in my other components. It's not a good idea to use the same name as another component you might have used another component name for this. I mean, if you used edt input somewhere else in your program, not a good idea to have the same name. Yeah? So I'm just making sure I definitely have this unique, edt enter. I don't normally use that word. And then we say edt enter equals t edit dot create. Same thing as before. And then we say with edt enter do begin and end. Take note, you must make sure you have your begins and ends in the right places, yeah. So we're going to do the parent, same as before. Then we have a left and a top property to set, so that's easy. Left equals 150, top equals 120. It's very important to put it on tab sheet 6, because if you say just form 1, then it's going to, that top and left is going to be sitting, you know, in the wrong place. So that left means left of tab sheet 6 is left hand border. Top is 120 below the top measurement of tab sheet 6, from the top of tab sheet 6. Right, so there is our edit box. Now, getting more complicated, we're going to create a button on the dynamic panel on PNL out. Yeah, it's called PNL out. With this other button click, create a button on the panel and link it to an on-click event which must read the string input from the dynamic edit box. So, and then show a message on the caption of the panel displaying the length of the string. So we have to have an on-click event connected to our button that we're going to create. Before I even start, I'm going to actually create a procedure. I'm going to call it, you can put it underneath here, I'm going to call it procedure click here, and in brackets I'm just going to write the word sender : T object. Can you see the words I've got it here? Sender T object. So I've just added this. I've used my own name here. And I click sender T object and I highlight it. Control Shift C. And over here I'm going to read the input from the edit, our dynamic edit. So here's my string I'm going to read. I'm going to make a variable to read the string from that edit box that we just created. ESN equals EDT. What is the name of our edit? EDT enter. Oops. Wrong code. I've got to go to my procedure here that I've just created. Now I've got to find it. Help. Maybe it's all the way down here. Unfortunately, this is a very long program with lots of other things as well, so unfortunately, so now it's going to waste time looking for that procedure that I've just created. If I knew a quick way to go and find it, I would use that. So if you know a quick way to get to procedure, let me know. There it is. EDT enter dot text, and then it's got to display the length of that string from EDT enter dot text into the panel called PNL out. So PNL out dot caption equals int to string length of SN. So we're using the dynamic components here to do that. Now this is a procedure called click here. Now we've got to link this click here procedure to a dynamic button, but we haven't created our dynamic button yet. Let's go and declare it first before we use it. Of course we have to declare it like we did the others. Called btn go, btn do it :t button. See there, I've declared it as a type T button, which is these are all Delphi types, Delphi classes. We're now going to move and do our button. We're going to create the button with a top and a left property on the dynamic panel. It's got to be situated on the panel itself. So I'm going to say btn do it =t button dot create. Oh, create form 1, sorry. Form 1. Then we're going to say with btn do begin and end. Parent, that's the tricky part. Form 1 dot. Now I'm going to use tab sheet 6 and see what happens. Then we want the top and the left properties. Top equals and left equals 150, 120. Wait, no. Top and left is 150 and 170. 50, 170. Link it to an on-click event. So we're going to find our procedure called. We're going to use our procedure called click here. So we're going to say on click equals click here. Like that. Let's see if this works, eh? So it's the first time we're actually using a procedure on the right hand side of our assignment statement, isn't it? Alright, so let's do this. Okay, the first one was the picture, then we had a panel. Come on, panel's in the wrong place. I better go and check that one out here. Panel, tab sheet 6. Okay, maybe my measurements are all wrong here. Left is 60, not 620. Okay, let's run it again. Right, there's the panel. Then I'm going to click show edit box. So there we have the edit box. Then we're going to create a button. There's the button. So I'm going to type a sentence here. I like pie. Click the button and it should display the length of that sentence on that place on that panel. Even though I didn't say that the parent was the PNL out, I could do that, I suppose, but I don't have to because it still worked fine. Right, so that's dynamic objects for you. Trickiest one was here when you had to get the on-click event and make it equal to a procedure that you already created. Okay.